number 4. Morning, Ron. Good to talk to you.
Hello. Good morning, Jimmy. Nice to be here.
Yeah, all right. So tell me, why do you think Putin would want to invade Ukraine?
Well, Jimmy, what a lot of people don't understand is what we call in the military the national defense strategy. Every country has a national defense strategy, and Russia's national doctrine for defense calls for buffers, big buffers that separate potential enemy armies, in this case NATO, US, UK, Germany, Poland, etc., and the Russian borders. Russia already has a big buffer in the north. It's called Finland. Finland is a neutral country. It's not part of NATO. NATO cannot station over there big armies with offensive weapons. And Russia has already a big buffer in the south, that is Ukraine. What happens if Ukraine becomes part of NATO? That is something that, according to the Russian doctrine, with the eye that Russia sees the war, they cannot accept that, because that will put a high risk its Navy base in Sevastopol. It will put on risk Moscow, because then NATO can put missiles in Ukraine pointing to Moscow that can reach them in a few minutes if they are hypersonic missiles. And also very important for those people who knows history, Ukraine is the gate for the Volgograd area, what we call in the Second World War Stalingrad, and that's where the oil is. And the Germans tried very, very hard to take that area during the Second World War because they knew the oil was there. So that's a red line. It's like when the Soviets tried to put missiles in Cuba. That was a red line for the United States, so it's the other side around. Having Ukraine part of NATO, that's something that, according to the Russians, they cannot accept.
Right, but Ron, why wouldn't you just try to, make Ukraine a great friend as opposed to putting 100,000 troops on its border? You know what I mean? There's a couple of ways to make sure that Ukraine would never want to be a member of NATO, and one would be to take care of them. There are a lot of Russian speakers in Ukraine, too, are there not?
Yes, they are. You need to understand something, Jimmy. The country we call Ukraine is a composite country. It's a country that was compounded. There is we can call the regional Ukraine, there is the eastern Ukraine, and central Ukraine, but there is also the western Ukraine that were actually part of Poland, and part of the old Austria-Hungary Empire. And those areas that were formerly part of Poland and are now Ukraine, that people in the west of Ukraine, they have absolutely no feeling for Russia at all. They are very much anti-Russian. But the people on the east is pro-Russian. But that is precisely the big divide. I mean, there is a big divide, because the way that people see the war in the country is extremely, extremely different, and it's extremely opposite. What Russia wants is a guarantee from the United States that Ukraine never ever will be part of NATO. But obviously Biden cannot do that because it will look bad in front of the public opinion and in front of the countries of the eyes of the countries of the world. It will look like a weak America. So the United States cannot do that.
Is there a solution to this then? Can it be a temporary agreement that the NATO won't join NATO for X amount of years, say?
That you're right on spot, Jimmy. That you're right on spot. I mean, many analysts, very pragmatic analysts around the world are saying that the only thing that might save face for both Russia and Biden, and the United States, might be a temporary moratorium. I mean, without specifically mentioning Georgia or without specifically mentioning Ukraine, just a generic kind of statement saying that the membership to NATO is closed for the next 10 years. Putin might accept that. He might accept that. But other than that, the stakes are very high because Russia wants to save face and Biden also wants to save face.
Yeah, without question. Hey, Ron, thanks for putting a real clear-eyed view to this. I understand it a lot better than I did before. Thank you. And the best of luck.
Anytime, Jimmy. Thank you.
All right, it is 9:18. We'll come back to traffic in just 2 minutes on News Radio.